Hello, my name is Nick Henkel. I will be analyzing culture and posture and culture and movement. The first analysis I chose to do was culture and posture. And my hypothesis is if females of the South American culture carried their children on their back, then this would cause the line of gravity and center of gravity to shift posteriorly. And because of this change, then they would have to compensate or overuse their muscles so they didn't become injured. In the exhibit, the woman had a bent over posture, and the reason for this was if she tilted herself forward, it would move the baby slightly anterior, and the total weight or the center of masses of the combined people would be directly over her base of support. This was a compensatory method that I saw, and this allowed her to not engage so many muscles because otherwise her hip flexors would be engaged and her abdominals would be strained if she was trying to stand with an erect posture. Some differences I noticed between their culture and our culture. Our culture tends to either carry babies on the front or put babies in the stroller. So if a person in our culture carried a baby on their front, this would cause the line of gravity and center of mass to move anterior, which could be compensated by using a method of lordosis to try and shift that center of mass back over the base of support. Or if a person was using a stroller, this wouldn't really change the person's center of mass because it has its own base of support that's more stable than the person's base of support. In this section, I will be analyzing movement and culture. The culture I chose to select were Native Americans. My hypothesis is if Native Americans used bows to hunt, then the environment would affect the elbow flexors and rotator cuff because it was essential for these people to hunt to live. The environment of these Native Americans would influence how they hunt, so they hunted with a bow. This would cause the movement of the shoulder holding the bow to decrease because they want to increase stability so they can hold the bow still and make an accurate shot. While the drawing hand, or the hand pulling the bowstring back, would increase movement, specifically in elbow flexion, using the biceps and the biceps brachialis to increase the pull on the bowstring to create a more powerful shot to hopefully kill the animal that they're hunting so that eventually they could eat it. The Native American culture is very similar to our culture in the fact that people still use bows to hunt animals. This would cause similar developments in movement where they need the shoulder to hold the bow, and they would also need the contralateral arm to be strong in flexion so they have enough power to pull the string back, causing the tension to launch the arrow and hopefully kill the animal that they're shooting at. So what I learned from doing this assignment is that no matter what culture you are in, there are certain activities that will influence your posture and the way you move. So it may not be effective treating a muscle group or treating common symptoms. As a therapist, I may need to look at the whole picture, and I will need to analyze different activities, and if these activities are hurting the person or preventing progress, I may need to consult them and see if there are things we can change or if there's a way that they can do the certain activities with better techniques to prevent the injury from progressing.